the Redmi 5 Plus. Redmi phones have for long epitomized amazing budget phones, and now Xiaomi seems to have added something new to their lineup. A Plus variant for the regular Redmi. Nope, it is not a Redmi Note replacement, but an entirely new line by itself. So is this phone worthy of the Redmi moniker? Is this something you should be excited about or even care about? Well, that's exactly what we're gonna find out in today's video. But before we do, if this is your first time here, or in case you don't remember me, Redmi, whatever, my name's Ash, you're watching C4E Tech, and if you do end up liking our Redmi 5 Plus review, do give this video a thumbs up, get subscribed and turn on notifications. Let's now get started. The Redmi 5 Plus is all about that display, so let's start right there with the display. With this phone, Xiaomi's gone 18:9 for the first time on a Redmi. This here is a 5.99-inch IPS LCD panel. Yes, this is a budget phone, but you won't be able to tell that by just looking at this display. For starters, the resolution is a very respectable Full HD Plus that spread over 5.99 inches makes for a pixel density around the 400 pixels per inch mark, meaning it is quite sharp. The color reproduction is natural, the viewing angles are excellent, and this is a reasonably bright display, so outdoors, in my week with this phone, I didn't face any issues. The display was quite legible. That said, there was one small thing that kinda irked me in my time with the Redmi 5 Plus. The corners are curved for this panel, but unlike the renders, the curve of the actual display and the panel above it are different, resulting in the variance in thickness of the black bar running around the panel. I know it's kind of convoluted. I really hope you get what I'm saying. It is just a tiny little thing that bothered me. It is not a deal breaker, but yes, it's a small thing, but I thought it was something worth mentioning nonetheless. Now, despite that, this is an excellent panel, and it's nice to see Xiaomi bring a premium MIMX feature over to the strong Redmi range. Now, apart from the display, this build's pretty much the standard affair. For a closer look at the placements, well, check out our unboxing video on the same. Here's the link to it. The short version, we've got a dual SIM hybrid setup. The headphone jack and the IR blaster are present and accounted for. No capacitive keys. The fingerprint scanner is still present to the back and is as fast and accurate as ever. No complaints there. One thing we failed to mention in the unboxing is the fact that there is a LED flash to the front too now. Overall, Xiaomi's done a good job with this build. The clicky buttons, the metal back, the 8.1mm thickness, the Redmi 5 Plus feels nice in hand. It almost feels like a Redmi Note 4. Yes, it's a little taller and heavier, but I didn't really notice that in my week with this phone. While it is not single-hand usage friendly, it is well built nonetheless. Props to Xiaomi here. Talking about similarities to the Redmi Note 4, the Redmi 5 Plus sports identical internals. It is powered by a Snapdragon 625 chip with 3 or 4 gigs of RAM along with 32 or 64 gigs of storage respectively. As expected, the performance was really good. We've seen the setup used by Xiaomi in the past with phones like the Redmi Note 4, Redmi 4 Prime, Mi 5X, Mi Max 2 and even the Android one, Mi A1. And just like with those phones, the Redmi 5 Plus had no issues with day-to-day usage. It is running on MIUI 9 built on top of Android 7 Nougat, and MIUI here on the Redmi 5 Plus was fast and snappy. Apps opened up quick without any hold up. The RAM management though, well, that was a little iffy. At times I felt like MIUI was a little too aggressive in ending background tasks, and I did tinker around with the MIUI optimization settings, but that didn't really help. Hopefully this is something Xiaomi can address in a future update. I personally think they do it because I don't remember noticing this kind of behavior with the Redmi Note 4 or any of the other devices that I mentioned. With intense scenarios like gaming, as expected, the Redmi 5 Plus had few issues. This is MIUI 9 that we are all used to with all the bells and whistles accounted for. For more on MIUI 9, here's a card to our dedicated video. As far as battery life goes, the Redmi 5 Plus has taken a minor hit in battery capacity since the Redmi Note 4. It's 4000 mAh compared to 4100 mAh on the Redmi Note 4. Now that, coupled with a larger display, means the battery life is not quite as good as it was on the Redmi Note 4. Now don't get me wrong, it is still over 1.5 days of moderate usage on a single charge. but it is about 10% lower than what you'd find on the Redmi Note 4. I usually ended my days with about 40% juice left. That's even after I streamed quite a bit on this phone. The Redmi 5 Plus is great for media consumption. Yes, with some apps it doesn't scale and we end up with black bars, but YouTube and Netflix do scale by default, and the audio output via both the single speaker and the headphone jack were fine. I didn't face any issues with cellular reception or call quality either. Now with that, let's talk cameras. The Redmi 5 Plus sports a 12 megapixel sensor to the back with an f2.2 aperture and 1.25 micron sized pixels. Under good lighting conditions, this camera fared quite well. The images turned out sharp, the detail levels were admirable for a phone in this segment. Look at this image. You can see the registration number of this vehicle. And here with the petals, we can see a lot of detail. Given the f2.2 aperture, the bokeh or the background blur isn't very strong. The color reproduction is okay at best. This flower looks markedly different from what it was in reality. The dynamic range, again, that's just about average, but there is a significant improvement when HDR is turned on, so can't really complain. You can see that for yourself. All the details lost in the highlights are brought right back. Under low light, the quality does deteriorate, but the images aren't too bad. Yes, the camera struggles to capture enough light, rendering dark images with a lot of noise as a result. But then for the price, the pictures are more than acceptable. Most images that I shot turned out usable. The 5 megapixel selfie camera fared reasonably well too. There's a good amount of detail and the colors are okay. There is one LED to the front which lights up when the phone detects a dark scene, and it does do its job. It helps a fair bit in dim lighting conditions. As far as video goes, the Redmi 5 Plus can shoot Full HD videos at 30 frames per second. Of course, there is no image stabilization of any sort, hence the jitters. Well, that is a disappointment. I could have probably seen past that. What really annoyed me is that the camera kept hunting for focus. This has been an issue across a lot of Xiaomi's budget phones, and it is just unacceptable really. Xiaomi has kind of let this issue fester for over 2 years now. What are you doing, Xiaomi? Anyway, the quality of the footage itself is okay. Sharp to an extent, has average detail levels and decent colors. The dynamic range is reasonably wide. And that's it for the cameras. Let's now talk pricing. The Redmi 5 Plus, as I mentioned earlier, comes in 2 RAM storage variants, 332 and 464, and it's priced at 999 and 1299 yuan respectively. That converts to 155 and 200 US dollars, or 9800 and 12,800 Indian rupees respectively. At these prices, I find it hard not to recommend the Redmi 5 Plus. This is yet another stellar offering from Xiaomi that delivers. Well, I am still really annoyed that the focus hunting issue returns on a Redmi yet again. But if videos aren't on your list of priorities at all, if that is something you can overlook, I'm pretty sure you're going to be hard pressed to find a phone that offers you better value for your money. So big thumbs up to the Redmi 5 Plus, despite that one issue that I really hope Xiaomi fixes. So there you go, my 2 cents on the Redmi 5 Plus. Do you agree with what I've had to say in this video? And oh yeah, if you already own a Redmi Note 4, this is not a phone you should upgrade to. Wait for something with a better chip inside. I didn't even write that in the script, but as I was, delivering this, I thought, I'm pretty sure a lot of you might have that question. So anyway, let me know what you think about the Redmi 5 Plus in the comments below. If you know of anyone, friends or family who might be interested in the Redmi 5 Plus, or even just interested in a phone in this price segment, please do share this video with them. And then the regular stuff. Dislike if you disliked it, like if you liked it, subscribe for more content like this, and don't forget to turn on notifications. Come on guys, hit that bell icon. Do it. Anyway, till next time, this here is Ash. You've been watching C4E Tech, and I'm signing off for now. You guys have a great day. Bye bye.